Last year in America, the land that has acquired everything, obtained everything, achieved everything. Last year, the top 10 medicines prescribed in America were antidepressants, anti-anxiety medicine, sleeping pills, and Viagra. We've put a man on the moon, or men, many of them, on the moon. We've put people in outer space. We've achieved feats that were unimaginable a generation ago. But now, we have to take pills to do what animals can do. Pills to go to sleep at night. Pills to drag ourselves out of bed in the morning. Pills to believe that our life is worth living. Pills to go to the toilet. Pills to procreate. Because we're running in the wrong direction. We're looking outside for something that only exists inside. There was a woman, and she was down on her hands in the road in the night under a very bright street light, and she was looking for something on the floor. And a wise man walked by and he said, "Mother, what are you looking for? Can I help you?" "I've lost my key," she said. "Oh, let me help you search." So he also got down on his hands and knees to help the woman search. And after some time he said, "Mother, where exactly did you lose your key?" "Oh," she said, "I left it in the house." "Then why in the world are you looking for it outside, in the road?" he asked. She said, "Because it's dark inside. I cannot see anything. And here, there's this wonderful street light above my head. I can see perfectly, so I've come outside to search for my key." "Mother," he said, "go back in the house. It may be dark, but even with an army, you couldn't find your key out here. It's not here." And yet, that's the same thing we do in our lives. We laugh at the woman's silliness, the woman's folly. How could she possibly be searching outside in the road for a key that she left inside? We're looking for the key to happiness in our life, for the key to peace, for the key to joy, the key to fulfillment in life. But we do the same thing. We look outside because it's bright. It's bright in the store windows. It's bright in the catalog. It's bright outside. But the key is not there. It's only inside. And that doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with having everything. You can have all of the possessions in the world, all of the wealth, all of the prosperity, as long as we're not looking for joy in it. If the woman were in the road, enjoying the moonlight, taking a walk, looking at the stars, no problem. Nothing wrong with being in the road in the night. The only problem was that she was looking for her key. And in the same way, we can have everything. We can succeed, we can thrive, we can become prosperous, as long as we don't think कि उसमें हमारी खुशी मिलेगा, उसमें हमारी शांति मिलेगा, उसमें हमारी मस्ती मिलेगा, क्योंकि उसमें नहीं मिलेगा. The key is not there. It's only inside, only in that spiritual connection. Here in the Himalayas, if you go a little bit up into the mountains, you'll see these village women carrying pounds of firewood on their head back to cook the evening meal. And you say, "Aap kaise hai, Mataji?" And they say, "Sab Bhagwan ki kripa." You ask the sweeper on the streets of Rishikesh, "Aap kaise hai?" "Sab Ganga ki kripa." Because they have that spiritual connection. They have God in the center of their lives. They may not have the mansions or the cars or the degrees, but they've got that spiritual connection. They're connected to the divine. And when that connection is there, everything is there. And when the connection is not there, nothing is there. There's a wonderful story, a joke, of a man who goes to a doctor. And he says, "Doctor, something's very wrong with me. Everything hurts. When I touch my head, it hurts. I touch my shoulder, it hurts. I touch my back, it hurts. I touch my stomach, it hurts." And the doctor is very confused because usually people come with one complaint, one ailment. But this man, everything is wrong with him. So the doctor runs so many tests and scans. And at the end, he calls the man in and he says, "I have some good news and I have some bad news. The good news is there's nothing wrong with your head or your back or your shoulder or your stomach. The bad news is your finger is broken. And because your finger is broken, naturally, wherever you touch, it will hurt. But the problem is not outside. The problem is not in the body. The problem is in the broken finger. And in the same way in our lives, that connection to God, that connection to spirituality, to the divine, when it's broken, everything hurts. We think the problem is the interest rates, inflation rates, mortgage rates, our employers, our employees, our in-laws, our children. But the problem is the broken connection. And when that connection is intact, when we're connected to the divine, then everything is there. And it's not hard. It's not anywhere outside of us. It's not in a workshop or a conference or a book or a CD. It's within us. God is there with us, everywhere outside of us, and everywhere inside of us. I want to end by telling about a man who was a great spiritual seeker. And he used to go here and there searching for God, searching for that divine bliss. But he never found it. And one day, finally, he gave up. And he sat down under a tree next to a river. And he said, "Okay, God, I guess you don't exist. I guess I'll never find you. I guess I'll never have that divine bliss." And he started to cry. And at that moment, a fish jumped up out of the water. And the fish starts to flap back and forth, back and forth. And the fish says, "Water, water, I need water. I'm going to die without water." And the man says, "You stupid fish, you live in the water. You're surrounded by water. There is nothing but water. Why are you flapping around in the air crying for water?" And the fish says, the same is true about you. You're crying for God, flapping around here and there, looking for God, and you're surrounded by Him. He's everywhere. That joy, that bliss, that divine connection is everywhere. And with the fish, the water is only outside. But with us, that divine connection is not only outside, but it's also inside. In every cell of our being, in every pulse of our heart, in every breath we take. So all we have to do is get reconnected to it. Realize that that joy is within, that peace is within. And the moment we realize it, like the fish, we go back into the water and we swim in that beautiful, divine ocean of bliss, joy, and peace.